See if I'm active. Testing, testing. One, two, three. Testing. One, two, and three. I want to make sure that we are live. I want to make sure that we are live. I hear a whole lot of doo-doo. I'm going to make sure I mute that. I want to make sure I mute this. Okay. And let's see. I should be. I should be live. I'm hoping I am. Aha. I am live. All right. Let me find this. I don't know why my thumbnail is there. All right. All right. Hey, Bill. Uh, the audio sounds good. Good to see you. All right. All right. All right, Bill. I appreciate you showing up. Uh, I'm also welcoming people on TradingView. All right. Let me see if I can get that going. If I can pop that out, that'd be great. There you go. All right, I just want to make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. Okay, so we're good. Audio is okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mike. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just giving a couple of minutes for people to show up. Uh, when I get the, hey, what's up, caveman? Appreciate it, appreciate it. Don't, hey guys, do not forget to hit that like button, man. Do not forget to hit that like button. All right. You know it helps the YouTube algorithm and all that good stuff. So let's see if we can get this underway. All right. The first thing I'd like to start off with is the RT money meter, right? We got to look at that RT money meter, man. Um, I'm going to make sure. I want to make sure that I am live on TradingView. It looks like I am, but I want to make sure that I am. Let me see. It's actually not telling me whether I am or not, but I know I am. It just because I'm actually looking at the live the live stream. Just want to make sure that I get some people checking in on old TradingView. All right, so we'll see how this one goes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hey, Sarah. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. All right. Let me see. Where's my money meter at? There you go. All right. Let's look at that. I hope you guys have been looking at the news. Did you check out the Wall Street Journal article about that Bank of Japan uh, intervention that caused that spike? That was a funky spike. Yes, that's right. That's right. JPY. That's right. And if you don't remember, I'll remind you that I think it was during my last weekly forecast, I went into uh, the possibility of the BOJ intervening again, like they did on September 22nd, and I said I said that it would for that market to reverse, it would need some coordination from the Fed. It would need some coordination. All right, and what did the Fed do? They started talking about um, adjusting the rate hike schedule, right? And that caused the markets to just like reverse and rah, right? But it was near term. It wasn't anything policy wise where they could say, there was some coordination from the Fed, but there was some cooperation, if you will, in my view. And just like the spike that happened on September 22nd, you saw a similar spike, same kind of spike in the yen, kind of do a near term kind of reversal, but it wasn't a show enough reversal, no, but it was the kind of intervention that stops momentum in its tracks, as opposed to reversing engines. You know what I'm saying? And that was something to watch. That was something to bear witness on. I want you to see on this RT money meter. I'm going to go ahead and begin. I want you to see on this RT money meter. This is the current updates here, right? And what I want you to see is, I don't need it. You know what? I'm going to pop. I'm looking at these chats. I want to pop this thing out if I can, so I don't have to look at the screen and on YouTube and get all mixed up and jammed up in my head. Hold on, let me see if I can get this thing to pop out. Chat. There you go. That's all I needed. All right, and yeah, that'll work. And I'll have that one right next to the TradingView chat. I'm hoping I get some people on TradingView. I opened up for just a few minutes earlier today, and then I got some TradingView people come in. That was interesting. All right, so yeah, it's going to be a great week, Sarah. So what do we got here? What we have here is the U.S. dollar is still number one, right? And I mean, it's still the strongest of all its currencies. But look at it. Look what it's been doing as of the 7th. The first week of the month, right, of October. It was at 839. Then the next week it was at 790, kind of trending down, and then for 83. Now, this is enough to make some people quite nervous and say, "Oh, we might have, we're just coming off of overbought, the overbought zone." On, if you look at any oscillator, I'm sure, the price is pulling back now. We might have already topped out. No, there is the November rate hike coming, right? And the November FOMC coming, where they have that meeting, and they're going to talk about the rate hikes, which is what that news that came on Friday. That's what that's dealing with, right? And they're going to see. They already project to see an aggressive move, a 75 basis point hike for the upcoming week. So, that's kind of already, those numbers are already baking in. All right. It's the next one after that they're going to really be making a decision about whether it's going to be another 75 basis point hike or lower, maybe a 50 basis point hike, which would signal that the markets are, the US dollar is probably going to see one more peak, one more high, and then we'll probably be looking down from there. but understand this, that GDP is coming on Thursday for the US. All right. They're going to be looking at GDP numbers. And also on Friday, there's going to be core PCE numbers. These things are going to have some impact on the US dollar, let me tell you. Okay. So it could signal the reversal. We just got to look at, we're going to, this week has to be the week of caution, because there's a lot of corrective moves that are happening right now. And I'm going to show you US dollar, although it's been, look at my cursor, it's been trending up, right? It's pulling back. But what is that doing? It's a correction, a near term correction, up, down, and then probably back up. More than likely, I'm still bullish on US dollar. So I'm going to keep that in mind. And it's still, out of all the other currencies, the strongest. All right. And we want to put the strong against the weak, don't we? All right. Look at this, the Swiss, 354 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, minus 354, minus 444. And this week at minus 213. This one is trending up. All right. It is, we have momentum to the upside with the Swiss franc. All right. Euro. The euro, the euro was ranked at number 3 last week, minus 679. This week is again ranked at number 3, minus 330. This one trending up. All right. Remember, the US dollar is doing the exact opposite, right? Uh, this, this looks again like a near term correction. So that's what I want you to keep in mind. Okay. If I'm drawing, if I'm drawing this, um, if I'm drawing this, you got to have this, right? This is the way upturns are made: higher highs and higher lows, right? The U.S. dollar is in this correction, correcting this impulse, correction, impulse. All right. The euro has been trending down hard, right? And all of a sudden, we get in a surge to the upside, right? It's doing the exact opposite of the U.S. dollar, right? But is this just a near-term correction of this impulse? Yeah, I think it is, and I think as we get closer to this top, we're going to find that price will resume the bearish trend until we get some policy taking place with the Fed. If they change their tone from hawkish to dovish after the November hike, then you're going to see uh, this happen with the euro, and this happen with U.S. dollar. Kind of a crude drawing there, but I hope you were able to follow. It's not that difficult a concept, right? All right. So with the CAD is in the middle, kind of bearish, bullish, neutral. We'll take a look at it, the individual FX futures of the CAD, and you'll see what I mean. It went from minus 718 to minus 503. This looks like it's trending up in strength, right? But again, it could be just a near-term correction. And this one is kind of doing a neutral kind of move. Pound was minus 760 last week. This week is minus 628. It is also trending up a little bit, even with all that chaos going on over there with politically. And economically, it's just dealing with a lot, just like everybody else, right, including the U.S. Look at the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar was ranked at number 7 last week at minus 892. This week is ranked at minus 7. This is trending up again. Another near-term correction. Same thing with the New Zealand dollar, ranked at number 8 last week at minus 1034. This week is minus 701. All right. And it's trending up. But the yen, minus 892 to minus 744. Yeah, that's a little trend up. But this is displaying that brief intervention. That's what that is displaying. And it is the weakest still out of all of the currencies. And I'm still bearish on this one. So what am I looking at this week? we have a lot going on here for sure. Uh, uh, what I'm looking at is uh, matching the weak against the strong. But before I give you the pairs that I'm actually going to put some notice on, I want to tell you that this is a week where you need to be cautious. This is a chop week, a chop week. It's corrective. All right, as I just kind of went through here, it's corrective, and you don't want to be jumping into trades on Monday thinking that you're going to be able to hold it for a few days or something, because you have some interesting uh, events coming up. And let's get to the calendar. All right, I got you. I got you covered. I got you covered, my peoples. I got you covered. All right, let's see what we got here. Uh, Go to the economic calendar here, and let's see. Next week, Sunday, blah. You got red full items with China, right? Monday, you got some manufacturing stuff coming in. All right, PMI and stuff. All right, Tuesday, I want you to look out for uh, the Aussie inflation rate. All right, the Royal Bank of Australia is doing their things. All right, we have CPI data for the Aussie. All right, here it comes. Interest rates. Canada. Canada has an interest rate. It probably won't do a whole lot of movement until that interest rate decision comes on Wednesday. All right, so be careful trading CAD pairs. I'm not really highlighting CAD pairs this week for myself. All right, and then on Thursday, you have ECB. ECB interest rate decision right here. All right, that's going to have a huge impact. All right, so you want to make sure you are clear if you're if you're doing if you're a day trader. All right, and you're doing intraday trades, you want to be clear around this time of euro pairs. Okay, because it could jump up and hit your stop loss really quick. All right, Bank of Japan. All right, that's going to have a huge event, a huge impact move in their markets, in the yen markets. All right, so the yen, because it did that, and I'll show you on the actual chart, because it had the intervention. All right, is probably going to consolidate a little bit before it resumes its its the weakness that it's been displaying. All right, unless the Fed actually takes policy kind of action. All right, action with policy instead of just talking. Unless they coordinate with the Bank of Japan, the U.S. dollar will continue to outperform the yen, and the yen will continue to tank. All right, and on Friday, U.S. news. What do we have here? We have consumer spending and all that good stuff, but there is, yeah, that this 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 was it. The yen, what do you call it? The yen interest rate. That was the last interest rate decision, and then U.S. dollar. We're going to be looking at core PCE. Okay, core PCE. So you want to be attentive to these numbers. All right, when they come out for the personal income and all, you want to definitely be paying attention to those numbers when they come out. All right, so we went over the news. All right, just some of those areas, some of those the charts that we're going to look at are going to make their moves on their day, and they might be pretty sideways. Hey, What's going on, Himbo? All right, I appreciate you hitting me up. Thanks. Um, um, uh, we're going to see. We're going to see some sideways action in some of those markets where they're pending interest rate decisions, and you want to watch out for those numbers for the U.S. coming with the GDP and core PCE on Thursday and Friday. All right, be careful because that could start the rally. That could start the rally, or it could it could signal the topping out of the U.S. dollar rally. So we'll see. Right now, what I want to do is go over the futures. I love to take a look at the futures first, so you can see the actual strength and weaknesses of each individual currency, right? So you can get a better look, be able to better gauge whether a market is actually showing strength or not. Let me see if I can get this right. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. All right. Let me hit them up. So I want to make sure before I get started on this, that make sure I say hi to everybody. My man Bill, Michael, Caveman, I appreciate it. And Sarah, you're a trooper. Love me some Sarah. All right, and my man, the Darth himself, Darth Himbo Jimbo, up in the house. Okay, just want to shout out to all of you. Thank you for attending. So let's take a look at the Dixie first, shall we? All right. The first thing I want you to know, the first thing I want you to realize is we are. You see this we're on a weekly time frame. I like to look at the daily time frames when I'm looking at the FX futures when I'm breaking them down. When I'm breaking them down, but I need you to see that we are running into. Oh, I knew it. Uh, we are running into a supply a demand zone, a supply zone. I just got distracted with a phone call. A supply zone here on the weekly, right? That's actually a monthly supply zone. Okay, and uh, I got it going up in here, and you can see that price is running into that zone. Oh yeah, this reminds me. Let me look at the COT report. The COT report, the very last one that we received on Friday, shows that banking institutions are 79% long in this currency. All right. They didn't do much opening and closing of shorts and longs. Not a lot of activity that way, but they are long in this currency. All right. Just bear that in mind. That's a large majority. When it starts getting to 75 and 80% one sided, when it's one sided that way with the banking institutions, you got to think that's smart money. You want to follow the footsteps of smart money, right? All right. But we still have a strong bullish trend, but we are running into a headwind. This is a monthly zone. Okay. And if I check the 3 month, you can see that we're right here, and that's where um, the uh, the what do you call it? I got to turn this thing off because it's totally distracting me. Telephone calls as soon as I start the live stream. Isn't that just perfect? All right, so you can see that we are in that area where we're touching we're heading towards the middle of this monthly zone, and I suspect this 3 monthly zone, 3 month. All right, and I suspect we may come to take that high, to sweep that high, and then we'll start the descent, the correction, if you will. All right, so let's go down to the daily so we can wrap this up on Dixie. It's very important to see where we are right now. All right, just look at the structure. We broke structure here. All right, as we make a higher low, higher high. It's a higher high because we broke structure to the upside. Uh, we pull back for the correction, a higher low, and then a new higher high. Great, right? We are We are in this leg of structure. Until we break this, we are not bearish. We are always bullish. All right. Until we break that low. All right. And we had a correction. All right. And a significant one. But we also formed, hello. I'm trying to find a pen. All right. We also formed demand, and price came back correcting like this, that corrective structure into that demand. All right. I'm looking for this to, you know, we hit a low. We may come down and equal that low, but I'm looking for this to as the springboard for the next high. Okay, I'm bullish on USD until uh, policy changes. Okay, so strength. I'm looking at US dollar strength pairs. I'm looking at US dollar pairs to buy it against its pairs, right? And but I want you to know that this is very corrective, and we also set relative equal highs up here. All right, price is going to want to take that before going anywhere else. All right, so that's liquidity up there. All right, so I'm definitely looking for price to continue higher. I'm looking for it to round up. Does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, it's a corrective structure to me, and we have equal high. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I agree with you, Trader X. Welcome, welcome. All right. So you already got that. You see what I'm saying? Okay. And you also for those that have to see him, that love to see him, this is a pretty decent looking uptrend, is it? Is it not? Is it just me? I mean, that's a pretty decent uptrend, and it's hitting on those areas. All right. So we're just we're not trying to do a full structural breakdown of Dixie. I'm just showing you that there's a good reason to think bullishly on this one. Okay. Let's go to the Swiss franc. All right, the Swiss franc. This one is interesting to me. Yeah, I have that arrow from last week. All right, and what you can see here is we hit a low. We hit this low. Right, it did all of this corrective structure. See, this is impulsive, and this is a very complex correction. Right, and then we break structure to the downside. Okay, fine. Now we're bearish. Internally, we are bearish. All right. Price pulls back into this impulse. We got that correction, and then we come down for the next impulse. Now this looks very corrective now, doesn't it? All right. And look at this candle here. Isn't that a bullish and very bullish and engulfing kind of a candle right at this low? All right. This is in demand. This is in demand. Price came back and tested this demand and kept going up. This is a strong low. And you have to expect when price comes back to test a strong low, because it's strong because it allowed for price to cause internal breaks of some market structure, not the hard kind of market structure, I might add, but it corrected pretty well, and you expect that price would be pretty strong from here. And so far, we had a very strong response here. So I'm looking for more bullishness to come here. Just I'm also making note how wide these swings are when price finds these demand zones. All right. So I'm looking for this to continue up, at least to these highs. All right, there's imbalance here to come and get, and we could, we'll see how this all shakes out. But the Swiss looks like, even though it's bearish, technically bearish, all right, I would have been convinced it's going to continue lower if we would have got a candle body break and close below that low. We didn't get a candle body break. We got a wick and then a very bullish response. So I'm looking for more follow through this way. All right. So I'm looking to to buy the Swiss franc against its pairs. All right. We're going to move on. Look at euro. The euro uh, it's it's pretty weak. I mean, there's not a whole lot to go on with here except lower lows and lower highs, right? Now, what becomes important is the most recent price action. Oh, you know what? Let me go back to the Swiss real quick. Why? Because I wanted to tell you what the COT report was saying. There you go. All right. The latest COT report for the Swiss is that 68% of the institutions are short, but they added 1,551 long positions. They also added 2,747 short positions. Now, this isn't a very decisive kind of you know transactions going on, but they are 68% short. All right, I'm watching this number, and I'm watching this where price is right now. This is this is one you're going to have to be very careful of. But I got a good, I have a pretty good feel, I guess, of price continuing bullishly from here, only because it didn't break and close below that low when it should have. Okay, so be careful with this one. All right, and with the euro, the COT report is saying 57% are long. 57% of banking institutions are long in this currency. Not that big. Not this is like 50-50. But look, they've added 6,500 long positions and they closed 4,000 shorts. They took profit in the shorts and are adding longs. They added longs last week, and you can see things have moved towards the upside. But what am I looking at? All right. Again, remember I was telling you during the on the RT money meter, prices moving down. There's got to be a correction, right? Impulse correction, and we are in that corrective structure right now. We're going to have to be careful with this, right? But what I'm seeing is one, you can make note that this is a pretty good daily downtrend, isn't it? Right, and we are running into supply here. Right, this is an inside candle if you don't know, and I like to see those things because they tend to signal reversals depending on where they are. You got to take context. You got to be wary of context when you look at inside candles, where they're positioned at the time they show up in the structure. But for me, I'm looking at this at the top of a rally, and it could signal the reversal, and you see price as continue down from there. All right, I'm looking at price quite possibly coming into this zone, and this the what do you call it, the trend line, and then turning around and rounding over. I am looking for more bearishness in this market. All right, I'm looking at this as the opposite, of course, of the the Dixie. All right, so I'm going to be watching both very closely, especially when it comes to these the the news that's coming out. All right, again on for the U.S. GDP news on Thursday and core PCE on Friday. All right, and the euro, we got ECB on Thursday. All right, the ECB meeting on Thursday. Okay, be careful on those days. Up until that time, we could see some sideways movement, just little low volume kind of movements, and then when the news comes, we're probably going to see some decision making in the market, right? So I am bearish on this on it with this currency, and I will be shorting the euro. All right, let's move on to the Canadian dollar. All right, the Canadian dollar is not my favorite. Why? Because it's moving sideways. Right. All right. After this impulse, did we get a full correction yet? No. No. When I talk about a full correction, just so that you know, we use the Fibonacci uh, retracement tool, right? And what I want to see is at least a pullback 50% a 50% pullback from the swing low, right? Up into 50%. And even better when it gets to the golden ratio of 618 or 705, 786. All right. That's where I'm going to be looking for that lower high to be made. You understand? And when it only comes back 38%, you know, or 28%, I'm thinking price has more room to pull back. All right. So what I'm going to be doing, because uh, I'm not expecting a lot of movement until Wednesday, because Wednesday is when the Canada has their interest rate decision, as I mentioned earlier. All right. So you want to be careful. All right. And I'm looking, I'm looking to see if price gets stronger, takes this high out, or respects the supply here and starts to round over and continues bearishly, because this market has been pretty bearish for a little while, right? So, uh, we'll see what the interest rate does, and I want you to be careful up until that point. I don't have CAD on my favorite pairs to trade because it's been kind of bearish neutral, moving to the side. Look how long it's been at this level, coming down a little lower, coming up a little lower. So, this is not one you want to bet the house on. Okay. All right. So let's move over to the pound. What do we got with the pound? It's been bearish, very bearish. All right, we're trading below the COVID lows. All right, from 2000, what is it? 2020, March 2020, right? And I've been mentioning this since for about a month now. With each Forex weekly forecast, when I talk about the pound, I said if once we start trading under here, we may be heading towards that parity $1 mark down here. All right, so price has come down here, right? Bearishly, move bearishly, and then we had this corrective pullback, and we're still in this correction. But what I fear is we may see price respect the supply here, as you see, it's already shown a reaction to it, and maybe we take out this high, but I don't think we get much higher than here, where the next supply is, and I think we're going to turn over there. We'll watch the news, the fundamentals that take place, and we'll see what happens. But on the daily, on the daily, uh, do we have a decent uh, trend line? You know, this isn't like this isn't an easy one to trade, because it's kind of turning into a equilateral triangle here, and if I can find it, I'm looking at this, and maybe it's flagging, maybe it's turning into a pennant. All right, but uh, I'm going to you want to wait until price gives you a definitive move, to where if it goes up, right, makes a higher high, comes down, and then pulls back. This is where you want to get in to take your to short against that market. You understand? All right. As it's correcting and being a little chippity chop. All right. You want to wait until price gives you a break of market structure, pulls back, and then you get in. All right. Let it confirm, let it show commitment that it wants to go in that direction. So I would only suggest shorts. And as it's coming up, even though it's going to probably come up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. All right. There are some headwinds right up here for price to round over. All right. We are in a bearish leg, and we're just correcting. And that could be for the formation of the lower high to make the next lower low. That makes sense. All right, let me take a break and take a look at what you guys have been writing. We got a lot going on here. Aha! Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay. Wa barakatuhu. All right. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah ta'ala wa barakatuhu. All right. I can speak. I can speak. It's a corrective structure to me. All right. That was the last one from Trader X. Michael Qasim. Is it Qasim or Qasim? Uh, some people pronounce it different, right? So I'm looking at you. Himbo Jimbo, are you with me? Everything's going all right? You got a thumbs up for me? All right, all right, all right. Let me see. Uh, so I'm going to continue. All right, and let's see. Uh, there you go. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Good job. Good job. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I can read too, man. Hey, appreciate that, caveman. Appreciate that. Thank you. I have this thing on the YouTube broadcast. It's quite delayed. Quite delayed. All right, Trader X. All right, man. Okay, so thank you, Sarah. Very good. Thank you very much, Sarah. Let's see. What? Who am I? Where am I? Where am I? Well, let's move on to New Zealand dollar. These two are very interesting to me. New Zealand dollar and Aussie dollar. All right. Why? Why is it? Why is it? Because the way they were moving, the way they seem to be trending on the RT money meter, right? If you don't know, the RT money meter tracks the rate of change of each individual currency future over a 15-week period, and I update this list every week to and rank them so that we can see who's strong and who's weak, and those are the ones we want to put together. All right, I want to look at U.S. dollar against New Zealand dollar, U.S. dollar against pound, all right, U.S. dollar against Aussie dollar, all right. But I'm more and definitely what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Thank you. I thought I knew something was funky. I knew something was funky. All right, so I want to put the U.S. dollar. Let's try this again. I want to put the U.S. dollar against the yen. I want to put the U.S. dollar against the New Zealand dollar. I want to put the U.S. dollar against the Aussie dollar. The CAD and the pound. These are moving kind of weird to me. And this, it's so unsettled with the pound. Things are so unsettled there. It's hard to. I'm waiting for some breaks of that accumulative kind of those structures. They look very corrective, so I want to be careful of those. All right, and but and to include the euro to a degree. There's some euro pairs that I think will show us some good stuff with if it's paired against yen, New Zealand, and Aussie. So I want to put these top three against these bottom three. Got it? So I'm looking at pound USD, Aussie USD, New Zealand USD, USD JPY, Chef JPY. Do I want Chef New Zealand? No, Chef JPY because Chef is moving kind of. Yeah, I want to wait for a commitment to going up, but against the yen, this is you got one going. One you have one with momentum to the upside and one with momentum to the downside. So those are the ones that you want to put against it. But for the euro, I want to put the euro against the Aussie, euro against the New Zealand dollar, euro against the yen, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah, on as far as FX pairs go. But let me finish. All right, so on the sure, I'm sorry, on the come on, man. All right, so for the New Zealand dollar, banking institutions, according to the latest COT report, is at 74% short. 74% short. They close 1,500 short positions, and they also close. I mean, they close 1,500 long positions, and they also close 2,163. That's not really telling you a lot, right? As the New Zealand dollar is kind of correcting from this oversold kind of this overextended market that it is correcting. And I believe there may be some more correction coming, right? However, if I can find a pin, all right. You see how it corrected here, didn't give a real pullback for this correction here, right? This impulse, and then it comes down a little lower, and we're correcting here. All right, where could this correct to? Maybe it takes this high out and then finds supply here, and then continues down for to what do you call it? Resuming the bearish trend. This is going to depend heavily on the U.S. dollar and how the news affects it. I told you what to look out for as far as the news is concerned, Thursday and Friday with the U.S. dollar. Okay, so be careful with it. All right, but I'm still bearish on the New Zealand dollar. This is just a correction in my view, and we may find, price will be coming back down to earth here, right around here where the that supply is. Does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, let's look at the Aussie. Same situation, same kind of correction here. This one has a more pronounced impulse here, and we are correcting in that impulse. This one seems much more clearer in my view. All right, and we can see price finding. Why would you do that? Why would you do that in front of company? All right, we could see price. Come on, man, correcting at this. If I can, this thing ain't working out. I'm not getting cooperation here. Let me see. Let's try this one. All right. Yeah. So maybe when price hits the supply right here, all right, which could happen in just maybe Sunday to Monday open, and then we can start to short against the NZD pairs. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at. All right, for Aussie and New Zealand. And last but not least, the yen. Now, let's discuss this. All right, what we see here is this impulsive move. All right, it's been perennially the weakest of the pairs. May God, I have to go. Thank you. All right, Qasim. All right, Qasim, I really appreciate you. Masalam. All right. Let's see. We got this impulsive move to the downside. We have this little bit of a correction here. Another move to the downside. More correction. Another break. It's been so bad that there hasn't been any real pullbacks to make those lower highs. All right. No breaks of structure to the upside. We did get a little something there, but that's it. Now, I want you to also see something else. All right. There are two areas here that I want you to pay real close attention to. I broke this down in the Discord the other day. All right. This was the intervention of the Bank of Japan out of nowhere, of course, on September 22nd. All right. And then we got this one. They're almost identical. All right. Length and everything, right? And if you read that Wall Street article dealing with the Bank of Japan and how the Fed started to talk about maybe reassessing their their rate hike schedule, all right, seemed to have been right in coordination with the Bank of Japan and their intervention, right? And we see this move now. This move stopped the bearish momentum, right? But this one was this a success? This intervention? Did you see the markets reverse? No, you didn't. So a stopping of downward momentum for a short period of time, and then a resumption of the bearish trend. I'm looking at this one, and I'm thinking the same way. All right, until we see some policy be put in place by the Fed, with some hard coordination. All right. I'm not thinking that we're going to see this as a reversal point. I'm thinking that we're going to see this as what it is, a temporary fix, the stop momentum, and then probably we're going to see some more downside action. So I'm bearish in this market. All right, and I mean, we saw a break of structure after the last one. I'm looking for this to kind of trail a little bit, and then we're going to see that break of structure, and we can start to short against this market. It's that simple. If price starts to go up, we're going to have to see something in something. Something we're going to have to see a fundamental catalyst, right, for us to think that the U.S. dollar is going to turn around or whatever. We're going to check the news Thursday, Friday. Remember, the Bank of Japan is having their interest rate decision happening on Friday. Remember that. All right, keep that in mind. So we might not see a whole lot of action. All right, but come the interest rate decision, and I can't see it changing anything unless the Fed here is working with them. All right, and so I'm looking for more bearishness to come. If they're going to talk in their meeting about bond buying again, all right, we're going to see more of the same. All right, if they're talking about hiking the actual rate, then we might see something like this. All right, so it bears watching. Okay, be careful. All right, so now we're going to move on and look at pairs. Okay, is everybody on board? Everybody, uh, everybody, understand. Did they get a better look? Did you get a better understanding of the individual currency future strengths and weaknesses? Just looking at them just by themselves, not against anybody. Not against another pair. Does that give you some clarity? Let me know. Thank you, Michael. Sarah, thank you very much. All right. If you disagree, it's fine. I would love to get any kind of feedback from you, and that's fine. Because I'm also, not only am I reading the structure, but I'm also telling you, I think it's going to do so and so. I can, I give you a feeling. Whatever. If you disagree with those feelings, that's fine too. I would like to see it all. So, uh, thank you for giving me whatever you got. All on board, Trader X. All right, good enough. All right. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what we're going to look at first. My voice is starting to go. What time is it, man? Uh-oh. Hmm. I see. I see. It's 12:54. I'm keeping my eye on that clock because I don't want to hold you out. I'm going to make sure that this is recorded and put on, or and posted on my channel. So we'll make sure about that. Okay. In case you have to leave or something, you'll find it recorded. Okay. So if I can just get to, okay. Now, what are we going to look at first? We might as well look at Euro USD first. This isn't. You know what? As we go, I'm going to make sure I put it. I'll let you know which one is hot for me, which ones ain't. Okay, so it's not going to take a whole lot of analysis. All right, this is the 4-hour chart. All right, you saw the euro and the USD on or the currency futures. All right, so what am I looking at here? All right, what I am looking at is, I keep saying all right. I don't know why I say all right. Everything ain't all right. All right, so I got the lower low. I got the lower high here, and I have a lower low. This is important. These are my structure points. All right. As long as we are in the top and bottom of a bearish leg, I'm looking for sells. Right. I'm looking for sells from this time frame. All right. From a swing perspective, from a higher time frame perspective, I'll be looking for my short setups, right? All right, but as soon as we break a high in a bearish trend, as soon as you break the high, that's when you start looking for longs. All right, that's when the market is bullish. All right, now you might say, well, we're bullish here because we got a higher low, higher high. Yeah, that's lower time frame, a lower time frame trend, a lower time frame internal structures trend. All right, internally we're bullish. Got it? But as far as swing structure is concerned, this is a bearish market. Overall bearish market. Hope that's not too hard. The concept to go into. Join me in it, check out the links I have in my comment section. I mean, in my description, and you can join me there, and I'll go all into with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of enthusiasm. I'll go all into structure and whatnot, and how it's read. Okay, so all right, so we have a swing low, swing high. So this was a corrective structure here, and we are in this corrective leg. All right. As soon as price breaks structure to the end, as it turns up, we can look for buys. All right. Makes the buys, and you got to ask yourself, why is it making those buys? Why are we bullish? It's because it needs to make the lower high. Bear that in mind. The lower time frames work within the framework of the higher time frames, and whatever the target is for the lower time frames, it was put there by the higher time frame. So when price turns bullish and the swing structure is bearish and price turns bullish, you got to think, what is it doing that for? The next structure point. That's why. The lower high. Now, how do we know if this is the lower high? We won't know until it confirms it here. But we can see if the uptrend is when it stops, when it's over. It's when it breaks structure. When it breaks this high, this low is responsible for that high. When it breaks that low, then you can say, yeah, the uptrend, the internal uptrend is over, and we're heading down. All right, so we headed down, and you see price go into this corrective structure here. All right, this is a bullish structure, and this gets corrective. All right, just by looking at the structure, you guys got to be able to judge it, right? What does price do? Runs. Come on, don't do that in front of company. Don't do that in front of Trader Mom and Trader X. I mean, I said Trader. Oh, Sarah, Trader Mom. Okay, don't embarrass me. Okay, so you see how price has this supply here, and the euro is coming right back up into this supply here, right? This is on the 4-hour now. So what am I looking for? What am I looking at here? Maybe price takes this high out. This is a weak high. Why is it weak? Because it's part of an uptrend, right? And in every uptrend, the highs are weak, just like in every downtrend, the lows are weak because they didn't make a new high. That's the nature of a downtrend. So if it's not, if it can't do what it's designed to do, a low is to make a new high. If it doesn't do what its job, it gets liquidated. It gets targeted for liquidation. Didn't make a new high? Good. You get liquidated. That's it. That's the way it works. Okay? The nature of the trends. Okay? Nothing happened, Sarah. I was you missed it. Whenever my the trading view drawing tools fail me, I say, why are you doing that in front of company? I'm a nutty professor. That's what it is. So we have some very bullish candles here. This is because of what happened on Friday, right, with the Fed and their talk of we're going to reassess what the rate hike schedule is and stuff, and all that good stuff. All right, but I think it's short term and temporary. Now, price may come up here and sweep these highs, right? But we're in supply. Just remember, we're going into supply. I do believe price will come up here and give us that break of structure, and we can look for shorts. But you got to be patient. You have to be patient. At ECB having their meeting on Thursday, and then you have the US with news on Thursday and Friday. So this might not do a whole lot up until the end of the week, towards the end of the week. So just be careful here. Make sure the setup that you take are clean. All right. Make sure you see this: a higher high, a pullback, a higher high, a break of market structure here, and a pullback into supply to take a high probability trade to the downside. I'm not going to repeat that. Yes, I am. I'm going to always repeat that because that's the move. That's what you want to look for: a break of market structure to the downside, and you catch the pullback. That's it. It's that simple. If you complicate it more than that, I feel sorry for you. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. So, what are we looking for? We're waiting for price to turn over. I'm looking for short setups. We're going to be careful of the news. That's the recap. Got it? Good. Good. Now, let's take a look at. I'm not really high on GU, but we'll go over it real quick. All right. Got a lot of drawing on here, right? A whole lot happening. All right. Is there a way I could? Oh, I got a whole lot going on here, man. That's way too much. Let me see. Let me see something. Hold on. All? Can I do that? No, I can't do all. All right. Won't work. All right. Let me see if I can do it this way. Nope, that's not going to work either. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. All right. Now, on the 4 hour, this is a bearish market. It's really, anybody have any trouble seeing that this is a bearish market? All right. Very good. I got a high speed audience here. That's what it is. Okay. So, what we can see is price move down, pulled back, easy to see, broke market structure here to the downside, precipitous drop here, right? So we have a high here and a low here, right? That's the high and low of the swing structure. We are well within it. Price turned bullish here after breaking structure here, boom, 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 right? Bullish internal structure, all right? And what did I say? This is usually the case for why is it turning bullish? Can somebody give me one answer? You would make me so happy. Why would price turn bullish after making this bearish impulse? Why would price turn bullish? To what end? What is the goal? What is the market trying to do? What is the structure trying to do? Come on, man. Come on. Somebody give me a good answer. I need answers. Hello. I know I got a delay on this thing. Yes, it's corrective. But I already gave that answer. Come on, Bill. You got to do better than that. Come on, Bill. I gave it to you before with the last breakdown. I gave it to you. Come on, who? You gave the same answer, Mike. You gave the same answer as Bill did. Come on, man. The swing structure is bearish. Then the internal structure, as soon as price turns in, because we're in this trading range, that's why we called it internal. The internal structure, refuel for a sell again. No, big fail, Praz. Come on, man. Again with corrective. How many times am I going to say it? 3 times somebody said I got corrective as an answer. 3 times it's wrong. Please, it's not the answer. Corrective is not the answer. Come on, man. Look, I'm going to tell you one more time. If the swing structure is bearish and price turns goes into internal structure and breaks structure to the upside, you got to ask yourself why. Why is it doing that on as an internal structure? It's because it needs to make a lower high. No, it needs to make a lower high because the small time frames, the lower time frames, are only facilitating what the higher time frames are put as their targets. The lower time frame is lower low, lower high, lower low. What's the next expectational structure point? A lower high. Am I right? That's why the internal structure turns bullish. Thank you very much, Michael. All right. That's why. So it makes the lower high. And we move sideways from there. Isn't that something? But we didn't take that high out. Price respected this the supply zone here, right? And we also got to make note that it actually broke structure. All right, with a break and close below. That's important. So what is the price doing right now? Correcting. All right, to where? Quite possibly to here. But if we take a closer examination of this, you can see price is already who wrote that? Can I get this video on YouTube? Also, can you help? Listen, man, I'm here for you, man. Just check out the my description, and you'll see the links in there. Okay, I got you. What you want to see is price has already respected, tapped one time the supply zone, right? Tap that supply zone, and we have a higher supply zone. We have a higher supply zone. Hey guys, do not forget to hit the like button. Do not forget to hit the like button. All right, we have a supply chain going here from. I love to see supply chains, of course. All right, from here to here to here. All right, price could very well turn around here, but what I'm looking for is the possibility that price could continue up temporarily because of the news, all right, and because of the herky-jerkiness of the political situation in the pound and the news coming at the end of the week for the US dollar, all right, price may want to sweep here. This looks like inducement to come to this zone or this zone. So I'm looking for price to give us that clean setups. You see what I'm doing here? I want to see it make a high, break structure, and then we catch the high probability short. Do you understand? So I'm looking for, I have some POIs in mind here, here, here. But this is on the 4 hour. All right. I'm looking for a clean setup on the pound, and I won't settle for anything less. This looks like the lower high. This looks like the lower high, and that high should be respected. All right. Doesn't mean it has to by law, but when you see candles like this one, all right, long wick, small body, these don't usually these get filled when they're at the bottom, or the inverse is at the top of a rally or a drop. They have a different meaning, but that's not the case here. We're respecting this demand zone, I expect price to quite possibly come up in here. We're on a daily now. Quite possibly to come up in here and sweep some liquidity before filling this wick on the way down. That's what I'm looking at. Now, we just have to wait. You have to wait. This one's got to cook a little bit. We have some areas, so it's in correction. So this is the one you want to be careful on. Okay, that makes sense. I'm glad you love this the today's lecture, man. Michael, I got you. I got you. Just get on board, man. Get on board. You know where to find me. You know where to find me. It's in the description. Okay, down in the description. Now, I'm gonna go to some Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar. Can I get some Aussie dollar? All right. I'm looking at what time it is. I got some things I have to take care of. All right, so I'm gonna go to the 4 hour. Okay. Now, what can we see? First of all, again, another bearish market. This is swing structure. All right, we have broken that swing structure. You did that to me again. All right, you did it in front of Trader Mom. You can't do it in front of Sarah, man. Don't embarrass me in front of Trader X and Sarah. Doggone it. All right, so you see this here, right? We are bearish. Easy to see. We broke swing structure, not just this time frames, lower lows and lower highs. All right, this is swing structure. That's once you break that, you know you're bearish. All right, and we come down here. Again, we come down here. Leave me alone, Sarah. You didn't see that. All right, so all right, we have the correction, and then we break again, swing structure. All right, and we down here again with this accumulative kind of structure. So we have to be careful, right? What did price do? All right, if price hadn't announced, if price hadn't announced, if the U.S. didn't announce that they were going to look at rate hikes again on Friday and reassess, this candle wouldn't be here. But what did it cause? Broke structure to the upside. All right, and what are we doing? We are mitigating this supply. To what end? Well, I don't know. I don't know. We may see some carryover. All right. I believe there's a lot of bullish momentum in this. All right. We may see some carryover into this imbalance or fair value gap, if you will. All right. Which would bring price. Let me get rid of that. Which would bring price up into this supply up here. Okay. Now, I'm going to look to see, because this is the Aussie dollar. All right. I'm looking to see how price reacts here. All right. If we get a clean setup where we break market structure, it pulls back into this bearish leg of structure. This bearish leg of structure is very important. I want to make sure you understand that, because it demonstrates that the market wants to go down. It commits to that. This is a commitment. That impulse to break this accumulation is a commitment that the market wants to go down. Got it? That's what we want to see. Not this big, all right? You want to see it on a smaller basis. But because this looks like inducement here or a seller's trap, you get people into taking sells. The market makers will get people into taking sells, and then they come back and take out their stop losses and take them out of the trade just to mitigate this supply and then come down. And that's the scenario I'm looking for. All right. So maybe we get it here, but I don't think so. I think this is the inducement. And I believe the liquidity at the top here, the stop losses that I referred to just a minute ago, will bring price up, and then we can come on down. We are going to find out, but we're going to watch it at this level here. You don't jump in. You just don't jump in. You want to be careful, okay? Let's look at the New Zealand dollar, USD. All right. And we're looking at it on the 4 hour. I mean, it's not a whole lot to discuss. What do we got going on here? Again with this? Again with this? Okay, thank you. All right. So I'm blaming that on TradingView, but it's really I'm the blame because I'm a nutty professor. Okay, so we have this bearish move, right? You see the correction. All right, this is New Zealand dollar, not as clear as the Aussie, but pretty similar. All right, and then we break market structure here. That's what that white line is there for. All right, and but understand that we are in a daily zone. This is what this is. All right, that's why there's a D on it. Can everybody see my trading view display pretty clear with the colors that I've chosen? You know, I just don't want to have people squinting at my chart. So make sure, just let me know in the comment section that you can see it pretty clear. Let me know. Uh-oh. All right. Things just changed up on me just now. I should have closed that. Okay. Is everybody with me so far? Let me know I'm not in this room alone. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Not too clear. Clear, boss. How do you ensure you have good stop risk to reward? That's a different. That's a. That's that's pretty different. That's something that we'd. I got to save that for another video or another period. Okay, but I will address it, Joseph. Just check out my videos, man. Check out my videos, and I'll let you know. But to give you the short answer, pay attention because I'm coming to it. Okay. Thank you, Michael. I don't know why it's not so clear for you, man. Everybody else seems to be pretty clear. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here on New Zealand dollar USD is let it settle, let it pick. Now this is that mess we just talked about with the US dollar, and I mean with the Fed talking about the rate hikes and everything, right? We are heading into supply here. All right. We're now reacting to it. All right. Do I think that price will go any further here? Well, I will tell you this. There is no inducement in this leg. When you don't see price uh, make a zone, just so you know, when you don't see price make when price makes a supply zone in this case, right? And it drops. I need to see price do something like that. All right. Why? Because this gives a liquidity point. People took shorts here and left their stop losses here. This is what draws price back up to it. All right. To mitigate the zone and give liquidity on the way in, and then it looks at the sell side liquidity as a target so they can target it on the way out. It needs, when price leaves a zone, it has to have liquidity going in, liquidity going out. If you do not see that structure point here, right near the zone, then this zone becomes suspect to me. So I'm looking up here. I don't like the way it's constructed and all right, but it's a zone that I'll be checking out. All right, and when price gets if price is to take this high, I believe that price will find its way to give us our high probability trade up here. Is that clear? I hope that's clear. Why did I didn't mean to do all of that. I did not mean to do all of that. All right, so I'm going to keep my eye on this zone here. Actually, it's already been mitigated at the distal end. So I'm going to look here at the more refined version here, right? Right here. Yeah. So I'm looking for price to look at this as inducement. And we, I'm going to keep my eye on, this zone here. All right. But I'm going to definitely watch how price reacts to this supply first, because it's close. It's the one it's in right now. This is the one it's reacting to. Price could very well start turning around right here. I don't know why I keep doing that. All right, so we'll watch here first. If I can just mark it with the right pin, I'll be all right. Let me see something here. Hold on. I'm gonna watch here. I'm gonna watch here. All right. We'll see if price gives us the entry model here, or gives us the entry model here. Make sense? I don't have 100% trust in this. It did sweep liquidity to make it, and that's something very important. But if you want to learn more about that, you got to come and see me. You got to come and see me. Look at the links in the description, and there's a whole course available for you for that. But I need to see price sweep. It's important to see that sweep of liquidity in making a zone, because there's a whole lot to it. I want to cover more pairs. All right, so we'll look out for that on NZD and Aussie US dollar and NZD USD, New Zealand dollar USD. All right, so I want to make sure everybody's up to speed on those. All right, and we did look at Euro USD. Let's take a look at USD JPY. This is the one we want to be real careful of. Why? Because there's a lot of news, and this thing might not move until Thursday and Friday. All right. So what we're going to see, you understand, it's been very bullish. All right, because the yen is very weak and the US dollar is very strong. This is the opposite ends of the RT money meter: strong, weak. Right. We have that intervention candle there, just like I pointed out earlier in the JPY futures. We have an intervention candle here, almost the same exact size, almost, right? And what I'm looking for, what I'm expecting until for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let me get a pen. For Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm expecting this, a little bit of this. And then I don't expect the Bank of Japan to start talking about raising their interest rate hike, raising their interest rates. I expect to hear more talk about buying bonds, and and continuing with their current policy. And on the U.S. dollar side, I expect it to get stronger. So I'm expecting this. Okay. But up until for the first few days of the week, we might get something like this, just sideways stuff. So just be careful and be patient with this one. And what are you looking for? What are you looking for? There's a bull trend. There's a bullish trend, right? And you're looking for this. Right? You want to see price move sideways, right? This is the low, right? You're going to go down to the 15-minute time frame and look for confirmation entries. What is a confirmation entry? All right, just like you look at our bearish entry model is like this: break structure to the downside, a pullback, and then down. We're looking for the exact opposite in the for a bullish trend. We want to see price come down like so, get a lower low, just a slightly lower low, something that beats that low. All right, and then a break to the upside. right? We want to see that break of that pullback high. I'm walking you through it, all right? And then a pullback. That's it. Looking for the pullback, the take up. That's it. It's not magic. You want to see price commit to the upside. So I'm looking at this. Just be careful. It's probably going to go sideways a little bit and then give us that break of structure and wait for it to come back. Wait for it to show respect to the low, and then take it up. But we'll see how the news plays out, because you can very well get some weird get some news, some GDP news, and some core CPE or PCE news on the US dollar, and that could bring everything down. All right, so we're going to find out. Just be patient with it, okay? Everybody straight on US dollar JPY. I hope so. All right, I'm not looking at CAD. All right, but here's something I want to make sure you guys are aware of. Aussie Swiss and New Zealand dollar Swiss. I don't know why people don't, and I'm not saying you guys, but I don't know why people think that don't play, don't watch it as much. If I could just find it, there you go. Let me put a little highlight there. All right, I gave some good trades with this. Now, with Aussie Swiss, it's not popular. Aussie Swiss, New Zealand dollar Swiss. I think this week, because of the Swiss being one of the strongest and Aussie and New Zealand being one of the weakest, this is going to be a good pairing to look for trades. All right, as we see, the New Zealand dollar right now is in a corrective leg that is outperforming the Swiss, but I believe this is going to turn. Well, look at there, a supply zone. All right, and it's an interesting supply zone because why? Because we have price making a lower low here, a lower high, boom, 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 a lower low. Why is price turning bullish here? Why did price turn bullish? I'm asking one last time. Why did price turn bullish here? The internal structure. Why did it turn bullish after making a lower low, lower high, lower low? Why did it turn bullish now? This is bearish. Why is it turning bullish? Can anybody help me out with that? Please, for the love of all that is holy. Look like we got a nice little downtrend too, huh? Can anybody give me an answer? Come on. I got a little delay going on. I understand that. I got to fix that, man. I'm looking for answers. Come on, y'all. It's 130. Lower high. BZ. Trader X. Correct. To facilitate a lower high. The lower high. Thank you very much for playing. Absolutely. So it has accomplished that mission, hasn't it? Why won't it all right, it's doing that again in front of company. Okay. Let's see. Don't have to have a little private talk. All right. So we have the lower high. Oh boy. We have the lower high. It looks like it wants to be made here. The way we're going to know there's a lower high being made is if it breaks structure to the downside. Then we know that this pullback is over. But we need to see that break of structure, then the pullback, and we can take a high probability trade to the downside, because I believe that Swiss franc will outperform the Aussie dollar. I believe that we are just in a corrective, the corrective phase of a impulse correction and impulse cycle. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. This looks like the place it would turn around at, because there is some imbalance right there, and I would like to see price turn around right at the trend line on the 4 hour. Okay, that's what I'm looking at there. Let's take a look at New Zealand dollar Swiss, and it's pretty much the same thing. All right, you see this? You see that red line? All right, if you start looking at my videos, you start looking at the analysis that I post on TradingView. We don't need to see that because it's damn near invisible anyway. All right, so we have a bearish impulsive leg breaking structure here. All right, we have the highest point there, and we have a bearish breakup structure. All right, this here says EQ. This is the EQ of the leg. What does that mean? From here to here, this is 50% of this swing leg of structure. All right, and when price is moving like it's doing, I'm looking at price. I'm looking for a full pullback. A full pullback for me is 50% or better, right? And this one hasn't done so just yet, okay? And once it gets up into this area, I'm thinking it's going to be ripe for a resumption of the bearish trend. So there is a supply zone up here, right at the EQ. So this is a good place. And this kind of lines up with the Aussie dollar, you know, where it's looking to give a reaction to supply. There is a supply chain forming here. I just went past it real quick, right here and here. Boom, right? And I believe this high should be swept by this high, and then we'll mitigate here. So this is where I would be looking for the first signs that price is exhausting. We break market structure to the downside. I'm waiting for that pullback, and then we can take a high probability short to the downside. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because it makes sense to me. All of this doesn't matter anymore. Price already swept these highs. All right, and I love seeing it. All right, this is how you study price, man. This is how you study price, right? You see this pullback, and then this move. All right, it breaks that low. That's an important, nice pullback, and it breaks that low. Where did we pull back to? We pulled back into premium price, discount price. That's above and below the 50% of a trading range. The lower high establishes the high of the trading range. The lower low establishes the low of the trading range, right? And there's a premium and a discount in each trading range, all right? When a price breaks, once I saw a price making these lows and price breaks structure to the upside, you already know what I'm thinking. All right, it's this supply. This supply is part of the supply chain that's right at the 50%. That's why, Joseph. Do you understand? All right. What is? I keep seeing this thing blink. There's something I'm missing here. There's something I'm missing here. I saw it blink. What? All right. I'll leave it alone. All right. This is the larger supply. All right. These are refined supply. What you got to think about is what is that? What does that look like on the daily? Oh man, I got all of this in the way. What does that look like on the daily? Come on, man. Get out of there. All right. This is the supply zone at the 50%. All right. Price doesn't have to go up this high. It could come up here, just sweep this high. It could come up here and just sweep this high or respect this high right at 50%, because it doesn't need to make it doesn't have to, if it doesn't want to, make a pullback all the way to the 618 golden ratio. It doesn't have to do that. 50% is where I start to look for that price to show signs of exhaustion, and then maybe a market structure break to the downside, and then I could catch the pullback. All right. So the larger zone is here. All right. And we're already in it. We're already in it, but we're coming up to the refined areas. Price could very well come up here to this daily zone. All right. And mitigate here. All right. I don't expect a whole lot of a whole lot more. What do you call it? Uh, strength in the New Zealand dollar over the Swiss or over the Swiss franc. All right. If it comes up here, that's fine. I'll be waiting for it. I'll be looking for a price to this gives a better price for a better short. You know what I mean? But this is the first place I'll be looking at because this is right at 50% equilibrium. I'm looking for this high to get swept. There's an inside candle here, two of them actually. All right, two inside candles here. All right, that I think will likely hold, and we'll see price move down from here. Hope everybody caught that. Okay, hope everybody caught that. Okay, let's see if I can get to. Dang man, there's a few more that I want to get to, but it's getting late. It's getting late. Now I kept your patience and this captive audience here for as long as I if you want me to do another one, I will. If you want to call it a day, it's okay. You let me know in the comment section, and do not forget to hit that like button, man. Do not forget to hit that like button. I appreciate it. Leave a comment. And Joseph, I'm glad that Joe, if you are catching if you're picking up what I'm putting down, I see you say thanks. Now I understand. If you're catching what I'm putting down, you got it. In which time frame do you find your trading model, sir? You can find it on every every pair, not every pair, but every time frame. Because you want to call it a day, Bill? I know it's a long one, man, but I'm trying to cover some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Uh, 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 Make sure you hit that like button, right? But yeah, you can catch it on any time frame. But this is the way I like to do it. All right. Most of you know it from where we hang out. All right. The way I like to do it is I like to go to, I want to get my bias on the daily, and then I go down to the 4 hour. All right. I go down to the 4 hour and I say, all right, I'm going to give you this moment. Let me get the, where is it at? Bar replay. All right. I'm going to look as soon as price hits here. All right. I look at my POIs, right? I put a POI here, a demand zone or supply zone or whatever it is. Uh, uh, as soon as price comes into contact with my POI on the 4 hour, all right, I'm going to go down to the 15-minute. You got to have a big range, medium range, and your entry range or small range. All right. I use the 4 hour, the 15-minute, and then the 5 minute to 1 minute for my entries. I hope that's clear. All right. Some people will use the daily, the 1 hour, and then the 15-minute for their entries. All right. You can use the same model, and this model, you got me again. This model, high, a pullback, a higher high, a break of market structure, and a pullback for the high probability trade to the downside. This works on every time frame. So what am I looking for here? I went to the 15 from the 4, right? And I'm looking as price comes down. All right, price comes into my touches my POI. Oh, come on, man. It's killing me. All right, price makes lower low, right? Lower low, lower high. Finally comes into contact with my POI, and I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm looking at price do all this action. I'm saying, okay, all right, let's go. Price breaks that high, short-term high, pulls back. What am I supposed to be thinking? As soon as it breaks that high, follow me now. As soon as it breaks that high, I'm down here and I'm marking the demand zone that I think price will come back to. Easy. I'm not going to do this a whole lot now. I saved this for my mentoring, for the mentees, right? Price comes back into the zone. I mean, it's the entry model is here, right? Breaks market structure, pulls back, bingo. That's it. It's not really a whole lot of science to it. All right, there's degrees to this now. There's some nuance. I'm giving you the quick and dirty, of course, but if I can get rid of that, thank you. All right, there are change of character entries. There are break of market structure entries. There are risk entries where all of this, you wait, price comes down, breaks market structure, and you're like, oh, okay, but it continues up. When price comes back, a day later or hours later, is this still good? These are the things you gotta find answers to, and that requires a little more lecture. All right, that requires a little more detail from me, and that's not the purpose of this. This what do you call it? This particular webinar. Okay, so I did want to check out gold. All right. Do you want to do gold or not? I think it's a worthwhile one. I see you said S&P. You tell us about gold and or oil. Yeah. I got you, Bill. I got you, Bill. All right. I didn't go into oil, did I? Matter of fact, let's talk about oil. I want to make sure you go away with oil because oil is confusing to some right now, and it's not really. Sarah says yes. Okay. Sarah gets what Sarah wants. Period. End of story. All right. All right, TradeX. I hear you, man. Where is it? There you go. There you go. All right. So we're on the daily chart, right? And what I want you to see is on oil, WTI crude, right? Where's price? Correcting, right? Look at the structure. Come on, man, with this mess. Look at this structure, man. This is interesting structure, isn't it? That white line is a break of swing high being broken, right? We come all the way up here. We never take that high out, right? Price does all this complex correction or whatever. It breaks that high, and then you see price take out the market structure to the downside. All right, and we've been down for weeks, right? So take a closer look at this. This is what I want you to see. Price is working its way down, breaking market structure to the downside, right? Lower lows and lower highs. And then it does this. Ooh-wee! It broke structure to the upside. Now, why would it be doing that? Why would it be doing that? Let me tell you why. All right. You think in this instance that it's making come on, that it's making a lower high in this instance, in this context. Do you think it's making a lower high to make a lower low? Well, let me help you. Let me help you with this. You gotta, that was determined here. All right. Price comes down and breaks that low, right? Pulls up. We make a new high here, right? But it's not higher than this high. But this is the high that it makes before it takes out that low. This low was made behind that high. When price breaks that high, that's a different kind of internal structure break. We have a change of character here, where you can say, well, maybe price is turning bullish, right? But when price breaks structure like this, you got to say it's turning bullish. This down move may, in fact, be over. The first thing you do, as I've been repeating, that's right, Praz, you're on it. That's right. Uh, uh, as soon as price breaks structure, actual structure, all right, not a change of character, but when it breaks structure, there's a very big difference between a change of character and a break of structure. All right, structure points are super important. It confirms a market shift. A change of character does not confirm a market shift. A change of character is the early warning sign of a market shift. Know the difference. All right. So with that push to the upside and that break of market structure, as soon as it does that, I'm down here. Like I said before. All right. It's the same principle in a higher time frame, but it's the exact same principle that applies. I mark the demand zone that I believe price could come to and find a reversal, find support. And this is the zone that I believe would hold as price pulls back. It's holding so far, and I'm looking for price to continue higher. Now, I don't know about it being to the moon, but I do believe we are in the process of making a higher low to make the higher high. All right. Everybody clear on that? So we're going to look on the 4 hour. We're going to look on the 4 hour, and we're going to watch this price action. Prices come down to this to this demand zone. Found it's holding. We see a change of character to the upside here. We're going to see if price dips, comes in for the dip on the lower time frames. If I can just get it to right, it's doing it again. All right. Nobody saw that. All right. I'm looking for a price to come back and start making its way up. Very good, Sarah. I've been talking about if you go back to my videos, I've been talking about going long on oil, and once it came down to this what do you call this? A demand zone. Once it came down to this daily demand zone, I said I think this is an area where price you can get in and hold it. And so far, even with the pullback, you're going to get pullbacks. Even with the pullback, it would still be good to take your trade. It's going to go higher, low, higher, low. Look at this. Just look at that. This is one leg of structure, right? It's a bullish leg of structure that broke the high here, right? You see the red line? That's where the equilibrium is. We came back into discount price. And what did I say about discount and premium? Discount is where you want to take longs. Premium is where you want to take shorts. You don't want to take longs in premium. You don't want to take shorts in discount. Got it? Okay. So it comes back in with a full pullback. I'm thinking we're going up, and we'll see. We will see. All right. Even if price comes back and sweeps this low, we're still in this demand zone. We want to see if this demand zone holds, and I think it will. All right. I think it will. So you see this sign here, right? No 4-hour backer. Backer is break and close above. Didn't break. I didn't get a candle body break and close above on the 4-hour. So it doesn't mean that it won't go, but it's not. That's not a commitment by price, in my view. A candle body break and close above structure lets me know convinces me that price wants to go higher. This looks like a liquidity grab when it's just a wick above. So I'm very careful when price comes back into my POI down here. Very careful, but we had a very nice reaction so far, and I'm looking for some follow through. That's it. Sarah, you are ahead of the game. All right, you are ahead of the game, but that's around the area where I was telling everybody, not just last week, but the week before. Check out my videos on oil. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right. And if we go to gold real quick, what time is it? Ooh, God dog, I didn't know it was this late. All right. If we go to gold real quick, why is that red line there? Let's find out. All right. Look on the daily. Gold. There is gold in them there hills. Is anybody trying to mess around with gold these days? I am. All right, so we see these breaks. You know, lower low, lower high, lower low. All right, got a nice structure breakdown here on the daily. Very good. We have clear structure. That's what you want to establish. Where are we in the structure? That's it. All right. If I can just get this thing to settle down. All right, so this was an important break of structure here. We're trading below these lows. This was a very strong area of support, and we got below it. Boom, pulled back up and came back down again into this weekly zone of demand. All right, I think we're going for a deeper penetration now. What you're going to see is this candle here. All right, that was the Friday candle where the Fed put out that news, right? That says, they wanted to adjust the rate hike or whatever. And that gave a bullish reaction and left the US dollar knocked down a little bit, in a weakened state. But like I said, been saying throughout the course of this video, is I think that's near term and temporary. You see what we're coming up to. We got some headwinds, got some inside candles there and stuff. But what I want you to see is that in this leg of structure, this is the midpoint, right? And this is the leg that I'm looking at. All right. And if we're going to, let me take a better look at this. This is the daily. Oh, actually, yeah. Bam. All right. See, this is the midpoint of this leg of structure. Price did get above it, found the supply, and you see what the reaction is. All right. And so you just got to find out where you are in the structure. We are in discount. We are in discount, and we came from premium. So in a bearish trend, that's letting us know that the direction is down, the bias is down, and what are we looking for? There are some relative equal lows here that's going to draw a price to it. I think that should be obvious to be seen. And even though we have this movement going up, because of that news and everything, I'm looking for price to find the supply it will find rejection from, right? We have a supply here. This is on the 4 hour, and we could very well, I'm looking for signs of exhaustion, right? And then I'll be looking for that structure break to the downside and see if it happens in this supply. Now, this supply has already been mitigated, so I'm looking for, at the very least, for that high to get swept for liquidity, and maybe price will find the rejection in the extreme of this overall zone here. There's an extreme up here, and that's where the magic happens. All right, but that's for me and my mentees, right? So if price gets past here, it very well could find some room to sweep more liquidity. But I happen to think we'll see some signs of exhaustion up here, maybe even some dithering. You know what I'm talking about? Dithering, where it just moves to the side and dithers. I didn't mean to make such a strong swipe, but I believe if it's going to reject from this zone, it'll be up here around the midpoint, above the midpoint of this supply. So that's what I'll be looking for. All right, and if it doesn't set up like I need it to, there's no trade. I'm not looking for longs in gold. No, 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 no. I'm not looking for longs in gold. All right. I'm looking for price to find this here and target all of this liquidity down here. All right. There's some liquidity to come and get, and it could climb back up a little further in the discount. No problem. All right. That's totally within reason, but I want to find the ultimate, an unmitigated zone that price will turn. And there is an area here, right there, all right? And it's already marked. I don't know why I went through all of that. All right, so I'm looking up here because this is part of the supply chain. All right, I'm looking up here. If price decides it wants to sweep this high and continue up, I'm thinking this is the zone it'll find reason to turn around in. I'm looking in both of these. You understand? Okay. If it doesn't set up for the short in either one, there's no trade. All right. And if it takes out supply, all right, that's when you have a signal to look for longs. I don't look for longs until supply is gone. You understand? I don't look for shorts until I see demand failing. I hope everybody understands that logic. All right. Once this is removed, all right, I'm looking to that's just too much of an explanation. All right, you got to come and see me. You got to come and see me, and I'll go into it and explain. Now, we're going to end this thing here. All right, we're going to end this thing here. I went through quite a few, and I'm hoping that you guys have some good ideas on what's coming, what's ahead for us this next week. I highlighted the markets that I think will find the strongest movement, but I want to also emphasize that there's a lot of corrective moving going on this week, this particular week. So caution is the operative word, okay? Wait until the setups are clean. I may not take a trade this week. I may not take a trade this week until I see something clean. All right. This is one of those weeks with the news coming at the end of it, because there's heavy news coming with interest rate decisions. We might see those currencies move sideways with very little up and down before those decisions are made. That's one of the reasons why you want to sit on your hands and be patient. All right. For scalpers, you can always find a trade. No matter what the bias is, no matter what time frame it is, you can always find a trade for scalpers. But the more you're gonna also have more losses than people who wait for bigger trades. All right, but you might make more profits, but it's also riskier. All right, so you can weigh the differences and weigh the benefits and the pros and cons. I'm going to wait. And I'm going to, there's a couple on here that I would love to hold. I just want you to stress caution. Make sure you're looking at your calendars. Okay. And I'm sorry to hear that, that you got stopped out on Tuesday, Bill, but we'll go over it. All right. We'll go over it. I want to thank you all for attending. All right. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the chats, and may profits be upon all of you and upon all of us. All right. May profits be upon you.